I'm Kevin, and I'm joined by my co-host with Harrison Bader like hair,
Yeah, it's a weird ordeal. Katie is just proving to be childish.
which is why I don't feel I would give $5 million to Jack Campbell.
I don't know. Baseball is one of those sports where anyone who makes the playoffs really can be a contender.
I think the Padres definitely do it.
I don't think Donovan Mitchell gets traded.
Kyrie Irving does have the track record of not being a great locker room fit, or even good locker room fit.
Bader got some luscious locks. I gotta say it.
This is Zach Bigley, the broadcaster for the Frisco Rough Riders, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin. You guys better subscribe.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NBA Opinions of the Week. I'm Kevin, and I'm joined by the man that we will be discussing how LeBron's legacy has changed since he won the inaugural NBA Cup, Austin.
Yeah, I don't know how much in depth we're going to that because I don't necessarily think it affects all that much. But we have seen some people talk about it, ironically or unironically, about how it affects his legacy. But it was a fine tournament. It was fine.
Yeah, I think it was fine. I wasn't able to watch a lot of it. I watched like the Bucks and Knicks, but it was mostly Bucks the whole way as they dominated. But I do think there is something to it. Looks that was like our, I think both of our biggest questions was, will the players care about this? And I think the answer was yes, because LeBron seemed to play very well doing it, and you could just see. I saw the end of the Pacers versus Celtics, and just that environment seemed awesome. So I think that's a huge win for the in-season tournament.
Yeah, and Halliburton and the Pacers getting so far, they're a fun team. I don't think they're necessarily all that great because of their defensive inadequacies. They can't really guard. But for an in-season tournament game, that leads to a lot of offense. So I think it was definitely a fun watch. But I didn't look at it as anything special when watching. I watched the majority of the playoffs games, and I didn't think of anything too special. I'm not like, wow, this is. People were saying it's playoff level basketball. I don't know if it was playoff level basketball. It was the intensity was probably there a little bit, but at the same time, I like AD said after they won it, they said they realized this isn't the prize. This is just a step in the journey.
Yeah, it's not like the huge big thing. That's kind of my joke with it. Like I think it's a cool thing, and it's something fun for the fans to see, and the players seem to enjoy winning it as well. But they understand, yeah, we're trying to win the NBA playoffs and win the whole thing, not win the NBA Cup. But I am curious to see, because I believe the loser gains some money, and the Pacers are a young team outside of Halliburton and Bruce Brown and Miles Turner. I don't think a lot of them have made a lot of money or received big contracts. So on that note, I think it was a fun thing. I think you could see it was a little bit different than a regular season game, but it wasn't quite to the level of playoff heart pumping through your chest.
Yeah, I agree, and I do think that I expect this to get maybe. Oh, let me just ask you this: I I wouldn't be surprised if it's less popular next year because it's not the new thing on the block. I Do you think it's more watched next year, less watched, or the same?
I'll say more watched. I'll go with that. I don't think I think people are like, from what I've seen on Twitter, but that's not a great indicator of a lot of stuff. But it seems like a lot of people liked it, so I'll try to watch it a little bit more. But just depends. Some nights I was busy, but I'm curious. I'm curious what um, changes. Because I do think the NBA, like this was a good start, but they might make a few tweaks to it.
Yeah, especially the courts. Apparently, according to Jalen Brown, the courts were not good, or not all the courts, and some of the courts had some slipping issues. So they have to fix that if there's going to be problems regarding uh, how players are feeling, or if they're going to get hurt, or a lot of other stuff. Especially as this goes on for many years. Like the first year, there can be those problems, and while you don't want that to happen, it's the first time they really tried it. It's the first experiment, I guess. But after that, they have to become more sophisticated in how you treat these players.
Yes, I think it's a great point, and yeah, and I'm intrigued like what teams are in it next year. Like, do we? I could see the Pacers being in it again because they are a young team, a fun team, as you said, and I'm not sure about the Bucks. I know I had the Pacers going, or I had the Pacers winning one game. Pretty sure I had the Knicks winning it. Knicks versus Kings. So I'm not sure how we did well in prediction wise, but it seemed like the games were competitive outside of the Bucks and Knicks, and then the Pelicans and Lakers.
I'm trying to remember who I had. I remember the first round we all had we both had the same things happening. The
And
first
then
round.
you and I went opposite. So I think you had Lakers winning, Lakers versus Bucks. Right?
Was it Lakers versus Bucks? Would that have been the opposite? Oh, I thought I had Suns versus Bucks.
Maybe you had Suns versus Bucks. I can't remember. But whatever I did, you and I agreed the first round, and then you
Yeah.
and I went opposite of each other. It's not a big deal, but that was just a side note I was thinking.
Yeah, and I still it still doesn't matter that much to me. And I still don't think that playing an extra game, an 83rd game, is a benefit. If they could get rid of that to where that wasn't an 83rd game, I think that'd be much better. The problem why they probably will never do that is because it's a neutral site game. Like the game's in Vegas, so it's really hard for a team to say, well, if it's a neutral site game, why are we playing at somebody else's stadium? But also, if it's a regular season game, why is it not one of the people's home games? But having an 83rd game, I do think, is a detriment that the league probably should fix, especially as we have the conversation of, oh, should the NBA decrease games, but then they increase the game for two teams?
Yeah, that's something we can monitor because that was my main thing was like, will the players buy in? Which I believe the answer is yes, the players bought in. Then, all right, what do they do about the 83rd game? I'm curious if we hear the Lakers say something about the 83rd game, if it's brought up at the playoffs or not. I would say, like, my view of it, it's not as important in playoffs, but it's a little bit different than a regular season game, which was the goal, in my opinion, for it. So I think it's pretty good. I wish I could have watched more of it. It was just Tuesdays and Fridays. I am not watching basketball at that time.
Yeah, I could see more people being. LeBron winning it is definitely good for those casual fans, the fans who are not
Yes.
usually watching NBA basketball or just watch it during playoffs. LeBron winning it, I do think makes it. Oh, we should watch this, but at the same time, I still don't think true NBA fans take it all that seriously.
Yeah, I think it's a nice wrinkle, and I think it's for the casual fans. And it does, to me, it was like, okay, the Lakers, which historically have been a premier team, won it. That kind of says something to me. It's not a game changer, but yeah, for casual fans, okay, LeBron won this. And then I think for the like true NBA fans, we're messing with it and be like, all right, how does this affect LeBron's legacy?
Yep, that is definitely something that some people were trying to go down that rabbit hole of LeBron has one and Jordan has zero. But
Jordan did not care about the regular season because he did not win an in-season tournament. That was also another small thing was people were saying I was listening to people talking about it and they're like in-season tournament, that's just such a long title. They could shorten it, that'd be kind of cool.
yeah, but I think it's fine. It's fine.
So, could be better though.
It probably could, yeah. But March Madness is not a necessarily short title.
But it just rolls off the tongue easier than in-season tournament.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. But it's not necessarily like you go by letters. They're not that far off.
Yeah, it's just a lot, and I'm like March Madness kind of word like that pops that attracts
Yeah.
and it catches it alerts you. In-season tournament, okay, you're explaining what it is, but I don't know. So maybe that could be a fun thing to say, but Overall, I'd say this is good. It wasn't a train wreck. Not sure if it was a home run, but it was a solid decision by Adam Silver.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it is next year. See what changes they make.
Yeah, I bet they'll announce that soon. And that's all I got. I'll let you close it out with your final thoughts.
Yeah, what do you guys think about the in-season tournament? Were you happy the Lakers won? Did you want another team to win? Who's going to win it next year? There's a lot of questions that we're going to answer later on. So please catch us in our next video.